So I was doing a few nightfalls the other day, and I had this hand cannon drop, right? It's the pure poetry. It's one of the new weapons added with season 18, and you can get it just by running, vanguard strikes. It drops at the end of those. And I had a couple of them drop with some pretty, decent looking perks, and I was like, okay. Then I looked at it, right? That boy is it's a 120 RPM, which is a kind of a turn off just off the rip. Now I ain't gonna cap to you, this is not a PvP weapon at all. No way, Jose. Skip that. But for PvE, bro, this thing actually has like some pretty cool perk combos, and it has actually quite a lot of perks. It has like 12 in each column, which is a lot. And let's just go ahead and pull it up right quick. So you'll see that in the third column, we have things like Fragile Focused, Grave Robber, Well-Rounded, Air Assault, Shoot to Loot, 4 times the Charm, Ambitious Assassin, Perpetual Motion, Steady Hands, Ensemble, Tunnel Vision, and then Outlaw, right? And then the fourth column, we have things like Focused Fury, Opening Shot, Under Over, Swashbuckler, Eye of the Storm, Pugilist, Frenzy, Elemental Capacitor, Multi-Kill Clip, Rampage, Harmony, and then Osmosis. Now, granted that this hand cannon does have a reload speed of 26, correlating to about a 3.6 second reload time in game, which is absolutely abysmally bad and brutal. Any way to counter that, in my opinion, is going to be what you want to try and do. I will say that the one that we're using has a pretty juicy role in things like Rick Rounds, Extended Barrel, Arranged Masterwork, and then we have Outlaw and then Frenzy in the gameplay, right? The main reason that I like the role here in the gameplay is because it has 2 different perks to counteract that terrible reload in Outlaw and in Frenzy, right? We also get a little bit of damage as well, which definitely helps. And being that Frenzy also gives us some reload speed as well, if we do not get a kill with Outlaw or just jump proc it, you do have Frenzy as like a little safety blanket to still cover up that god awful reload speed. I also did get one with Perpetual Motion and Rampage. I didn't really like that one as much as this one, just because there was no way for me to get around that garbage reload. Maybe Ensemble in the third column, and then maybe like Frenzy, Swashbuckler, Rampage could definitely help in the fourth. Under Over is a new perk that deals bonus damage to targets with overshields, and then deals a small amount of bonus damage to combatant shields. I haven't had the most playtime with this perk, so I'm not going to recommend it or say it's trash. Shoot to Loot's kind of nice and niche, but let's be real here. Shoot to Loot on a hand cannon might not be the best thing. Shoot to Loot's definitely better on a scout rifle. And then maybe Perpetual Motion and Frenzy, bro. Any way to just get around this thing's terrible reload, I think is going to be your best bet. I guess maybe one decent little PvP role if you wanted to use this thing in PvP would maybe be like Fragile Focus and Opening Shot. But I think if you're going to use this hand cannon at all, you would definitely want to use it in PvE over PvP. It's just way more suited fit to PvE with the perk pool. If you want a kinetic PvP hand cannon, you just go craft yourself an Austringer, bro. It's a cool little 120 RPM hand cannon. However, I still don't see myself using this thing over my Time Lost Fatebringer inside of PvE when I have access to things like Explosive Payload, and I can switch between Firefly and Frenzy. But if you want a nice solid little 120 RPM hand cannon for PvE, bro, this is not a bad one to keep in the fall if you get one. The best thing about this gun is that it's a beauty to shoot and pop heads with.